Alright.
Make sure it goes on my channel too, because sometimes fucking PlayStation be bugging.
Oh shit. Oh, this is cool. Look at this little edit.
Make sure the audio. Make sure the audio. Okay, there we go. Let me put it on my story, and then I will count down and we'll begin.
And not only that though, man, now Spider-Man has the biggest release trailer of all time. They broke the record.
Not surprised in the slightest.
Nope. 718. Bro, that's almost 1 billion views.
Bananas. Absolutely bananas.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna. Yeah.
I love that song.
Hey. I do too.
Alright. So let me. Okay. Audio's good. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna count down. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. I can't believe it. We're actually here. I didn't think this would happen, but let's run it back for the one time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brian and Manny podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and I'm here with my beautiful host, Manny. Say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's up? We're back.
We're back
for a special video, a special talk and conversation about a very interesting topic. And if you don't mind me, Brian, to say it, the road to WrestleMania.
That is absolutely correct. The road to WrestleMania is upon us, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the Brewer matches. We're going to talk about what we think of the build so far, and we're going to continue to talk about the road to WrestleMania as we get closer to WrestleMania returning to Vegas. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to give a quick update on this channel before we get to the main conversation. So me and Manny have been talking about this, and I want to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Dante DDJ. I put a comment on his video, and he actually put it in his video, so it was really cool to see. So shout out to Deontay. I'm very thankful for that.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Deontay. So shout out to him. But it gave me an inspiration and gave me that feeling of like, should we do a kind of a mini style return? And Manny brought up the good idea. As also shout out to another inspiration and in the clutch and Shantae and my boy Chisel Adonis, the Viticulous Adonis. Shout out to those
shout
boys.
Shout out to Into the Clutch. Shout out to Chisel Adonis.
Shout out to Ross. Shout out to boy Dub. They were doing their own road to WrestleMania with different content creators. So we said, why not? That looks like fun. Let's do a road to WrestleMania podcast. And let's do it from there. But the update on the channel is as follows. Now, right now, I can't promise anything on how far we're going to go with this. We're going to give it a run today and see how we feel. But if we feel we can continue to go, then I'll put out a plan like this. I don't know if we're going to do weekly shows, because weekly shows are very hard to do every week, especially so you have to keep up with the shows and keep watching. There are some days where me and Manny don't feel the best, or it's a lot. It's a lot for weekly shows. I don't know how YouTubers do weekly shows. It's impossible. I don't know how they do it. So shout out to them how they do it. But what I could at least do is we could do prediction warfare that we always do on the phone and bring it over to the YouTube. And we could do some specials. So if there's a show that we think is big enough that we could talk about and review or just talk about in general, we could have a conversation about it. So here's what I propose, and I think Manny can agree with me here. I say, let's see how WrestleMania goes, how it goes. And if it goes well enough, why don't we, potentially maybe on the weekends or during the week, before the pay-per-view goes live, we predict what we think is going to happen in the pay-per-view and what we think of the card. Because you've seen how honest we can be. We've seen how nice we can be if the card is great. And there's a lot of great wrestling. Like, I think this year, especially from a very rising company in All Elite, they've done such a good job. I do want to get my opinion out there and talk about it, because I generally do love the work that Tony and the gang are doing. I love what they're doing over there. The talk about a comeback story in a lifetime. It was impressive how well they did at the end of 2025. And the way they moved into 2026 has been incredible. We just saw one of the most incredible revolutions in Revolution history. It's easily top one, top two for me. And it was such a good damn show with great wrestling and great story as we move on to Dynasty coming up. So, I guess to ask you, Manny, because again, this is your call. What would you say if WrestleMania goes well, the pay-per-views following after, would you like to do predictions on stream for those pay-per-views? If you're feeling, of course, because I don't know how your schedule is, but
I mean, yeah, if I'm not too busy, hey, you know me, Brian. I'm all the way down to do that shit,
all
all the
right,
way,
all right,
all the way. And I will say this though, we definitely, I think, got to talk about not just WWE, but I would love to talk a little bit more about AEW as well. I think that they've been, I feel, doing really amazing stuff with their product over the last few months, and ever since the end of last year, they just been cooking ever since that time. And yeah, I mean, what better no way to, do that, or hey, come back, than to talk about AEW and WWE.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, so I can't promise anything yet, but I will work out with Manny. We'll talk in DMs and we'll work out a schedule. If everything goes well for me, if we enjoy what we did for night one, night two, which we will be probably, if I were to give you a date, night one, night two is on the 19th and the 18th, I believe, this year. So anytime before that, so probably if I were to be, I guess, honest, because that would probably be a longer stream than most, because we have to do both nights. So whenever both nights
Yes.
get it confirmed, which would usually be the week or the day of before night one goes live, we will somehow try to fit in a prediction stream for all of those matches as much as we can. Now, again, there's always some changes for night one, night two before showtime. So if there's any changes at all, we can always update picks when we go to
Yeah.
review it
And
after the fact.
and we can always, review it or check ourselves. Say, hey, you know what? Hey, if we get a prediction wrong, or if something changes immediately during, night one or night two, hey, well, then we'll, trace back our steps, and we
Yeah,
can, do something, talk about it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if they add an extra match or there was an extra segment that was not announced or something like that, we could always fit it into the review when we get to that point. But that's just in case. But yeah, so anywhere between the 18th and the 19th was when WrestleMania is going live. Any time between then, especially when they announce night one, night two, we will do a stream on it and we will predict and talk about it. Now, there might be a time if it's cutting close, we might do kind of a prediction of what we think will be night one, night two, if it gets that close. But I'm hoping that WWE, because that's the one thing I'm very indifferent in when WWE does this, they take forever to announce what night one and night two is, other than the obvious main events, of course. I hope they don't cut it that close, but we'll have to wait and see. And I'll obviously update you guys on my Instagram, and you guys can keep an eye out on that. But until then, I can't promise anything, but my goal this year is to do at least pay-per-views for me and Manny for either AEW, WWE, and if we like a pay-per-view enough that deserves a chat, we could always throw in, maybe a TNA or AAA or something like that. Just something different to spice things up if we feel like it. Like if New Japan's got a great show going on in the US, we'll talk about it. But, that's just if we want to. It depends. Um, but the goal is AEW and WWE at least for both pay-per-views, because at least I can handle pay-per-views, because the AEW pay-per-views take forever to build, so it gives me time to rest. And then when we get to the actual pay-per-view, I'll be energized, I'll be ready to go, and we can discuss it, discuss the long card, and go through it. So that's kind of a mini update. I will update you guys on the scheduling when we get it confirmed on my Instagram, and we'll kind of work it out. But this is kind of a testing stage. We'll see how it goes today with the Road to WrestleMania talk, and we'll go from there. So can't promise anything, but I am feeling that jitters of we might be able to do some fun stuff. So we'll have to wait and see, but something to keep in mind as we go through the year. All right, that's enough updating. Let's get to the main conversation at hand. So the main conversation at hand is the road to WrestleMania. Now, this has been an interesting road because of the twists and turns we've taken in this road to WrestleMania. And there's a lot of different directions we can go here, and there's even still matches that haven't even really been confirmed by WWE or have been at least rumored by WWE to be happening. And it's kind of a thing that it could happen, it might not happen. It depends. It really depends on what WWE does because, again, it's their choice. So, for now, we'll talk about the matches that we know are confirmed. And there are definitely some feuds we are going to be very critical about. But there's a few that I'm actually looking forward to. And after watching last night's SmackDown and getting a better idea on where SmackDown's going with a little bit, I am actually excited for a little bit of the SmackDown side. Not the whole side, but a lot of it I am looking forward to for WrestleMania. So we'll have to wait and see what WWE does there. So, I guess to start the conversation, we'll start with the main elephant in the room. Let's talk about the Night 2 main event. Let's get to it. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the WWE World Championship. Now, as of right now, that is the planned Night 2 main event. That could change if things go left, but right now, that's the planned main event. That's the reason why WrestleMania is going to be big this year. It's that match. And beginning of the feud, I will say, the road we got here was a decent road. Roman Reigns finally won his true vindicated Royal Rumble after the amount of boos he got in 2015, 2016, due to just the reaction of him getting shoved down our throats and everything. He finally got the true Royal Rumble he deserves as the Tribal Chief. It took him a while, but he finally got the Royal Rumble that I can finally respect and be like, you know what? That Royal Rumble victory was earned. And he did that. And I was, like I said, it wasn't the greatest Royal Rumble of all time or anything, but it was a decent men's Rumble. I still think the women's one was better, but it is what it is. I still enjoyed it. From there, we went into the first conversation. CM Punk and Roman Reigns, a generational match that we have been waiting for a very, very long time. Me and Manny have talked about this, or specifically Manny has asked for this match more than me. He even said, I want this match, like, badly. Ever since Punk came back to the company, he's like, I want him and Roman. I'm like, absolutely, I would want that. So, when I heard this match was happening, I was super excited for him, and I was super excited for myself. And the first confrontation did not disappoint. The one after the Rumble, they threw shots at each other. One of the funniest lines was Zebros and shit. That shit had me dying. And it was great. It was great stuff. Then the one that really got everybody excited, the second promo. The second promo, oh boy. You want to talk about one of my favorite promos from these two. It was the second one. The second one not only had family shots, but the second one also had one of the most disrespectful lines I've heard in Punk's WWE career. And that is literally, and I can't believe he literally said this line. And when I heard this line, I thought I was smoking a dream. I thought I was like, hell no, there's no way he said this. And this motherfucker did say this. That's the crazy part to me. I would have never thought in a million years, oh yeah, he's gonna say that. Nope, he said it. He straight up said it. He went to the barrows of hell. He's like, I'm gonna bury you. But I'm gonna bury you next to your dead father. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, alright, guns a-blazing. Roman, you have all right to talk about his family, talk about his wife. You have all the right in the world to do whatever the fuck you want, because holy shit, he basically dissed the bloodline, but on a different level. That's Roman's family. The amount of years of the NOYE family and Joe, like, oh my god.
I'm not gonna either. Like Brian said, you know, I've been invested in this match for a long time. Honestly, since Punk has come back, you know, invested in him versus Seth, him versus Roman. And technically now he's fought almost every member. He's fighting almost every member of the Shield. The only one that he has not fought yet is, and that's crazy. That's the crazy truth. But the only one he has not fought yet or beaten yet is that man right there, the Tribal Chief, the Royal Rumble winner of 2026, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And yeah, that first promo after Mania was great. The second one though, ooh, gosh, Roman was speechless, and I don't blame him though.
I don't.
And yeah, that was definitely one of the craziest things Punk has said since, probably, I'm not gonna lie, since he turned into the best in the world.
100%. Because you wouldn't think Punk would go that deep, especially the way Punk kind of rebuilt himself in WWE and is more of a business guy and stuff. But there are times when Punk needs to go to that Punk of old with the right person, and oh boy, he did that. He did
it.
Woo-hoo.
He did it.
He did that, and it was absolutely insanity. So Really good stuff from those two. And then week 3, I actually really enjoyed week 3, even though it wasn't Punk and Roman specifically. It was him and the Usos, actually. The brothers, the
Yes.
cousins, the
Oh,
cousins.
yes.
And I
The
enjoyed this one.
nephews.
Yeah, the nephews. I enjoyed this one because the Usos have a right to defend Roman's, obviously his father because of, their fathers, Rikishi, and their families and the bloodline tree. It only made sense to have the cousins come out and talk for Roman because, again, they're family at the end of the day. Yes, their family is complex and very dark. It's a very, very dark family, but it's a family nonetheless. So, the fact that, we have an opportunity to, see the Usos potentially maybe finally reunite with Roman, which is something I've asked for a while now because I didn't know what they were doing with the Usos. But if
Yep.
this is where it leads to, then this is not a bad way. And the way Punk basically called Jay a young boy, the disrespect continues to just elevate. Like, goddamn, called him a young boy. Damn.
And still doing the work of Roman. And that's what you say. You're still doing your cousin's work for him still, even after you guys have gone your separate way. Which again, Punk, doesn't care. As much as he respects the Usos, he doesn't care if they're siding with Roman. Which, hey, at the end of the day, this is family versus a one man army, a one man that one at a time made the culture, made a whole entire generation and culture of rebellion.
Agreed.
Rebel and honestly, in my opinion, showed the real side of pro wrestling. Showed the side of what unfairness will do to a man.
Yeah.
If they push him, if that pushes him to his limit.
Yeah, 100% agreed with that statement. 1,000%.
And now the bloodline has also made the culture in this generation. In this generation now. While Punk is still a part of this generation, and he's still a big part of pro wrestling in general. But then again, this is a new guard now. This is a new guard than what he did with WWE many years ago.
100%. 100%.
But again, though, I think one of the biggest things that Punk has said has been true was that you're trying to fulfill my shoes. That's what he said to Roman. You're trying to fulfill my shoes. And in a way, yeah. I think when, John Cena eventually started to go, a legend, and then he started to go eventually part-time, who did people rely on a lot more? Other than Roman Reigns, it was CM Punk.
He was
one of the faces of the company for a little bit before, he departed WWE.
100%.
But ever since Punk left, there has always been a void. And if you don't believe me, look up the chants of people chanting his name for 7 straight years. There has been always a once in a lifetime chant out of those 7 years of CM Punk fans chanting his name, especially in Chicago, in the home of CM Punk. So, at the end of the day, Punk is right. Roman has filled Punk's shoes. Roman has filled this era's shoes. And Punk is still trying to, make a comeback and, prove why he still is the best in the world, the best of this generation and the last generation. He's already done that. But now the question is, this is a old guard, an old veteran versus the big now, as I call him, the big star now. This is like, in a way, John Cena versus Roman Reigns. That is what this match is, if I'm comparing them similar to. Can Roman Reigns defeat one of the last old guards of our generation, Brian?
Absolutely.
Of our, time, of this time.
Absolutely agree.
Can he do that? Or does Punk still prove that he is better, and not just this last generation, but this generation itself? But I would like to go on forward to after that.
Yes.
After those 2 segments.
So those are the 3 segments that we had with anything involved with Punk and Roman. But this is where I got a little negative. I don't like getting negative, Nancy, but I gotta be honest here. So this is the 3rd confrontation. Like, okay, 3rd time they're gonna talk. After an incredible start to Monday Night Raw. I'll at least mention it here, but I'll go more in depth with this match later on in the show. Brock Lesnar and Oba started off the night hot with Seth Rollins being involved as well. Loved that segment. Great way to start Monday night. Matches were doing good. Penta and Dragon Lee's another shout I want to give. That match was awesome. Great open challenge.
Great
But then we get to
match.
the main event. We're like, all right, we started strong. Hell, he had a really good middle. How did we end? Unfortunately, and it's going to happen because, you have a lot of talking segments to get to as you get closer to MSG in Boston, because they're going to be in Boston on Monday. The dud. The one that didn't hit. And it wasn't a dud where it was like, okay, there was still some nice lines in there, but it didn't quite hit the same, but it was still good. No. This, unfortunately, in my opinion, was the worst promo from these two I've ever listened to. Why was it so bad, in my opinion? It didn't advance anything. It didn't advance story. It didn't really tell a lot of history. It felt desperate. It didn't feel cohesive. It just felt like two dudes trying to talk and trying to talk shit to each other. But a lot of it was just stuff that we either heard a little bit of, and shots that were so minuscule, it wouldn't have had offended me if I was getting dissed at all. Like, if you talk about my dead relatives, that'll definitely offend me. Or if you talk about my family, oh yeah, no, I'll get pissed at that. I'll 100% get pissed at that. But this one, oh man, it didn't do it for me. And I tried to go to the barrels of hell, and shout out to my big Roman fan who knows almost everything. Shout out to Tyrese. He found a TikTok that basically tried to explain Roman's lines. And while technically he's right about some of Roman's diss to Punk, it was such a bottom of the barrel, like barely. I was like, dude, like they're scraping to the bottom for this. Like, if they don't make up on Monday, then, oh man, this main event's gonna be in a hole when it comes to story. Matchup wise, still looking forward to, but story wise, it's gonna be in a bit of a rut. So the promo happens. It's going decent so far. Roman, hyping up the crowd as he always does. Punk comes out. Here we go. Time to lock in. First couple shots. Nothing too crazy. Nice little decent line about AJ. Okay. We're starting to heat up a little bit. Alright. And then this is where it falls off the rails. Roman tries to respond with basically trying to rage bait Punk. Does not work at all at first. Just no effect. Like in Pokemon. No effect. At all. Not effective enough. Punk answers back decently. Nothing crazy. But decent shots. And this is where I get basically infuriated and like, what the fuck was that? We get towards the end. Roman's ready to find his final statement. You would think, oh, he might say something about Lario. Oh, he might say something about AJ and his father or something like that. No. All this man says, and this is easily some of the cheesiest and corniest shit I've ever heard. You're basically tryharding. But you're being an embarrassment to that championship in yourself because you're old. Brother, what? Like, I still laugh at the fact that Roman even said that. So you're basically rage baiting him and Punk punched you because you called him old. Oh, and I watched SmackDown when they put the promo to try to make it look better. It still didn't look better. The shit still looked cringed. I was like, brother, what? Like, what kind of promo is this? What kind of logic is this? I had so many questions. Not good questions either. I had so many questions questioning this promo. You expect me to get hype after that abysmal promo? No. If anything, you have until Monday, aka tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. Today's Saturday. Monday. In Boston, in front of that crowd at TD Garden. That crowd's going to be loud on Monday. To cook. If you don't cook, or at least end with an epic brawl, then the Night 2 main event, I'm not saying it's in jeopardy, but I am going to start questioning. Are you truly the Night 2 main event? Are you truly? Yeah, sure, star power-wise, I can agree with you. Roman Reigns, CM Punk. On paper, oh yeah, it's a Night 2 main event worthy. But storyline-wise, do they really earn it? You would think so, but after that promo, I'm not so sure. I'm starting to question if Cody Rayne, and they barely even started that program. Like, that promo was so shit. It was so garbage. It made me disappointed in these two, because I know these two are the two best talkers in the world, or one of the best two talkers in the world. And you give us that? The only line you got, Roman, after talk about your dead father is he's old? Brother, if I was 32 and I call myself old, brother, I don't care if you called me old. Hell, people call me Unc already, but I'm only 24. And I don't care. You think I care that I get called Unc in the group? No, I don't care. Like, dog, I don't care if I get called the little Unc or big Unc. I don't care. Because I'm still growing. And plus, as well, it's still like, bro, you're just calling him old. Of course he's old. Oh, and you're no better, Roman. Brother, Roman, you're almost 40, 41, 42. You're not far away either, Roman. You might look apart. I will say you don't look old. I mean, when I see you and you got your ripped muscles, bro, you don't look old at all. I do agree. But, bro, you're also old. Generally, this promo made no fucking sense. And it disappointed me as a guy of, like, I'm looking forward to these two basically roasting the shit out of each other. I got nothing. Out of this, except for maybe one little AJ line that was a nice little uppercut. But that's it. Like, everything else was just... Ugh. It disappointed me. Like, oh my God.
I agree. And, my side, when, at first, it was like, oh, okay, throw the jab to the wife. But again, it wasn't, like, so penetrating where it's like, oh, okay. So he said something really, it didn't give me that. It just gave me, okay. That's it.
I'm going to say this now, and I hate to say this because I know this segment just happened, but there were more jabs said in a shorter span between fucking Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson than what we got on Monday.
That's crazy.
That's fucking sad. And I like Kit Wilson. I'm happy the dude getting TV time. He deserves it. Toxic masculinity is one of my favorite things on SmackDown. And gets over, he's got better shots than Roman? That's crazy.
And Punk. Yeah.
And Punk?
Mostly Roman.
Well, mostly Roman. But because Punk, literally Punk all he had to do was kind of coast. He could have coasted this week because he did. He said the damage 2 weeks ago. He said the damage.
Yeah.
He could just coast. He could coast for the rest of the feud, and I would respect it.
And here's the thing, though, too, though. What I found that was really, like, it kind of, like, not pissed me off, but, like, be like, really? That's all you had to say? He's old? My brother, now, let me be honest with you, Roman. You up there a little bit, too.
You up there in age, bro.
You almost up there too with age. Now you look young for your age. I'll give you that. You look good and everything. Muscular. Teeth and everything. But you're getting up there too. You no different. You might be 10 years apart from Punk, but you about to get up there too, bro. Either way. But the thing is that the thing with that was that it did not deliver as it was supposed to. He mentioned your dead father, and all you had to say was that he was old. No duh. No shit. He's old. Punk is old. So what? So what?
Generally,
This was Roman's chance to say a big-ass comeback talk to CM Punk. After him calling your father dead and saying he's going to bury you right next to him at WrestleMania when he retains the title. And that's all you had to say. But again, and Brian, I think I did talk to you about this though too. This reminded me of John Cena's segment with him when he was first starting to become the big dog, when he was first starting to become a main event level player.
Mm-hmm.
When he feuded with John Cena schooled him. He schooled the absolute fuck out of Roman.
Yeah, he schooled him.
He schooled him.
Hell, even the Cena haters are like, nah, that man Roman got cooked. You know what's bad when the Cena haters are like, nah, bro.
That's even crazy. Like, even the Cena haters said that, and even the Roman haters.
The Romans were even like, dog, Roman, I can't. Or like, even the Roman defenders were like, dude, I can't defend this. Like, he cooked this boy.
And John Cena said it like this: it's called a promo, kid. If you want to be the big dog, you're gonna have to, learn how to talk, and everything. And Roman couldn't say a damn word.
He's playing with his food.
bro couldn't even utter any. He just laughed.
The only,
That's all he did.
the only,
And then you know what's crazy? You know what he said? That he called him a punk ass bitch. It was just funny, but at the same time, it's
the
like
only,
you got cooked so
the only,
bad that you got sensitive. You could tell he was sensitive right after that.
the only,
You could just
the
tell.
only little line that was like good was like, he's a part-time fake ass bitch. That was the only good line. I was like, I remember.
I was
Decent line.
like,
Decent line.
okay,
Decent.
it was
I'm mad.
decent.
I'm mad.
It was decent.
I'm mad. But the
that was
rest of it, bro, he literally called him a corporate version of John. Like, oh my god, he bodied this man.
And even when he came back, now of course I will admit Roman got so much better when John Cena came back when he had the green
when they ran it back,
and in
it's much better.
2020, I believe, 2021, 2022. When he
Missionary
came back
position every single week. One of my favorite Roman lines of all time.
Yeah, you know, it's up there. It's up there for sure. And he did so much better though too.
Way better.
But even then, John Cena didn't have to roast him that much to just simply destroy him, and he still did. But again, you know, the main thing of this story, of this Roman and CM Punk feud, is that it's starting to become like John Cena, where a veteran has to once again carry Roman because he cannot come up with the exact words, to defend himself and his family. And not only that, to make a bigger comeback, to make a bigger roast to Punk than he did to him 2 weeks ago. And the original plan, if I can say this, Brian, the original plan was that Larry was supposed to be put into the conversation. But WWE did not allow it. Now, I don't know if it was Punk didn't want that call to be made, or if,
That's what I heard was mostly Punk was like... Punk might have been like... I get where you're coming from, but I feel like it's a little too soon. Because Larry didn't pass too long ago, so I can understand from Punk's perspective being like, maybe not yet. Give it some time.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's still grieving, because that was recent. Yeah. That was recent. And R.I.P. to Larry. Hope Punk and AJ are doing okay. Shout out to you, love and everything for your family and whatever.
Absolutely.
But the point is that again, Punk has to carry Roman again. And when it comes to Roman, feuding or talking shit to the top guys, he can't do it. He can't do it. Now, he can talk to some of the other guys, like a LA Knight, like a Cody Rhodes, or, let's just say like a Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the OGs, when it comes to John Cena and CM Punk, who gave you a spotlight, who made you in a way what you are, you couldn't even say anything that penetrated. And to be honest, I don't even think that when Punk hated Roman after he said, "Oh, that did not even feel like a penetration to me." I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
I don't believe that. But I'm not gonna lie though, and Brian, I got to be honest with this though too, and I'm sure you're gonna agree. As much as you have hope for Boston and everything that they say something better, for me, and I'm sure there'll probably be some people that might probably say the same thing, or maybe not, might still give it a chance. But for me, I'm not gonna lie. Last week was the week. Last Monday was the Monday Roman should have made a big comeback roast, and he didn't do that. And I'm not confident with the story or the promos leading up to WrestleMania. No, I'm not gonna lie. The match is still gonna slap. Don't get me wrong. This is still a dream match in the making. But when it comes to the promo talk, I'm not gonna lie. I probably might not be sold anymore at this point, because that was the time to do it. Now, if you plan on doing a roast again and him having, talking again, it better be the biggest thing. The biggest disrespect to CM Punk's entire life. If I'm going to be interested again with the promos heading into WrestleMania. But until then, I'm just not impressed. That should have been it. And now, I'm not confident with the promo talk going into WrestleMania. But yeah, that's just me.
And that's fair enough. Like I said, most of the consensus online, it seems like, are much more... They're willing to give it at least one more week. And I'm one of those people, because I'm more of an optimism than most. Some people are more closed-minded, and I Respect that, 100%. But most people are like, all right, last week between these two, if nothing comes out of this and nothing comes out of either potentially MSG or the show after that, then I'm going to start questioning if WWE should have put this as the main event and should consider. I hate that I'm saying this because this feud has been built so quickly and the way we got here, but I might consider, hey, you should consider, even though he's not back yet, but he'll probably be back in a week or two. You should consider Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to do that because they built this at the Rumble and everything. But if you don't have the story to back it up, then I'm going to start questioning. Are you truly the main event of WrestleMania? Are you truly?
And that's what I feel. And now, I'm not going to lie, though, with Cody and Randy, that thing is just getting started now. And I was more sold on Randy's simple response to what he did to Cody than I was to Randy and than I was to Punk and Roman. And the same thing for, I'm not going to lie, Kid Wilson and Jelly Roll promo was so hilarious.
Promo slam. Oh, no, not promo slam. Poetry slam, my bad.
Yeah, poetry slam was so good that I'm more interested in this fun match than I am with night 2 of the main event.
Dude, that's crazy, too.
Storytelling.
And it's such a bunch of random people, because right now, the rumor is it's obviously The Miz, because The Miz had a promo with Kit before then. So it's obviously The Miz. It's Miz, Kit Wilson versus Jelly Roll, and either partner I've heard rumored either Danhausen or Royce Keys. But I mostly heard Royce Keys. And that's good for Royce Keys. I mean, get him on WrestleMania. Dude, he's been on main event for like a month now. Yeah, get that man on WrestleMania, absolutely. Is it random? Yes. But is it cool? I mean, after what Kid and Jelly, I mean, they're going to have a match next week in Pittsburgh, and I want to see that. I want to see Kid Jelly Roll hang with Kit Wilson. Like, it's kind of random, but the poetry slam kind of sold me. I was like, you know what? This was good. This was really good. I was so surprised. And that's the best part about Kit Wilson's character. You get surprised by anything. Like, anything he says, anything he does, toxic masculinity, anything he does. You're just surprised. You're like, this got to be better than most. And it was. And shout out to Jelly Roll, because he had some of the funniest lines. Like, Jelly Roll was cooking. It was really good stuff. I was thoroughly entertained. I was so entertained by those two alone. If nothing comes of Boston, as a funny haha joke, Jelly Roll and Kid Wilson should main event WrestleMania. I've gotten to this point where it's like, I'm more intrigued with a fun celebrity tag match, which Jelly Roll should be doing, than the main event of WrestleMania. Which sucks because I'm cool with mid-cards doing better than main. I mean, you've seen what AEW's done with some of the mid-cards. Some of the mid-cards better than the main sometimes. And that's a good thing, because it shows the mid-card is healthy. But there are times where you get embarrassed so bad that the mid-card is better than the main. That's where it gets bad. When the main program gets embarrassed by a mid-card segment, that's where shit gets kind of bad.
And let me tell you this, though, too, we've spoke about this a couple of times, though, too. The wrestling could be great.
Oh, sure.
And amazing, and one of the greatest of all time. But if there's not a great storyline to back that up, and I'm sure everyone that is going to watch this and is hearing this right now is going to agree 1,000% or 3,000%. Let's just say, we got to have story, a good build, and we're not going to be build, to a match that I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania. Then, it's going to be good, but again, we're always going to remember that other half and criticize that other half of what it should have been. And same for the wrestling. The promos can be 10 out of 10, the best of all time.
Oh yeah.
Well, the wrestling match is a 0 out of 10 and just fails completely,
or it's just not as good as people want it to be, or it's overhyped, or it's just
what was the whole point? And that is going to be considered a letdown. It's going to consider a fumble.
I was really like this. And this is more of a mini letdown, because they still had a good feud no matter what. Jacob and Solo, we were set to see their final battle in the steel cage, right, with the MFTs debuting and everything. I love the story of it. Jacob finally having enough of Solo helping him. He wants to go on his own. It's a genuine story. Have Solo win the U.S. title, and then have him go to battle at a SummerSlam. The promo work, fantastic. I had so much fun watching that feud.
Yeah.
But the match of steel cage, it wasn't the worst steel cage of all time. but it was just okay. It wasn't. It was just disappointing, but it wasn't like a bad disappointing where I was disappointed not to see Jacob and Solo because we saw them live. I was so happy to see them live,
Yeah,
but I wanted so
yeah.
more from it. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
and I wanted more from it though too. Even though the WrestleMania match wasn't really the best of all time, or wasn't at least solid enough, I'm not gonna lie though. You know what? It's not hurting them right now because now
No,
they're on separate
because
paths.
now Jacob and Drew have a really exciting feud, and then
Oh yeah,
interesting feud with the MFTs after WrestleMania when they're done with the Wyatts with Solo and Tama, which is definitely going to be an interesting story to take. But to finish up with Roman and Punk, and then we'll get to other stories. For me, you got one more week because I'm more of an optimism. You do well in Boston. Not gonna say it's all hunky dory and we're back. Not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be like, okay, there's still a chance. But if Boston even fails, I am gonna start questioning what is truly the main event of WrestleMania. Like I'm gonna start questioning should this really be the main event, and I don't want to do that because I want to make sure our main events for night one, night two are confirmed. Like, hey, this is the main event. But if Roman and Punk unfortunately don't do the best in Boston in front of that crowd, which Boston's usually a really good crowd. I mean, went there for Cena's last couple nights, and that crowd was electric the whole night. If they can't get Boston to get hype, oh my goodness. I'm not gonna say we're in trouble, but we might be in trouble. Let's hope not, because again, there's still time. We have until April. Just a lot of time left to make up. And maybe this is just one blunder, and then we get back on track and we're good to go for the next couple weeks. But again, it's not going to be easy, especially after what they gave us, because fans are already kind of like, damn, like, I don't know how I feel about this. Because then there are fans that are like, we get what we're trying to do here, but it still doesn't make any sense. So we'll have to wait and see, but I am, like I said, I am willing to give it a chance. But I am going to start questioning, what are we doing here? When it comes to the stories, like, what are we doing here with Roman and Punk if it doesn't go well? Like, what are we generally doing here? In my opinion. But I hope it
yeah,
doesn't get to that. I hope it delivers. I hope it goes well. I hope it proves me wrong and says that was just a bad week. And we get back on track. But if not, and I will be honest a minute, I will literally tell him myself how I felt. I will. I'll be like, yo, dude, I'm either going to say there's still hope, or unfortunately, and I hate to say this, we might have to start questioning what truly the main event of WrestleMania is. And I don't want to
yeah,
do that. I don't. If anything, I want to embrace what the main event of WrestleMania is. But if I gotta start questioning my thoughts on what the main event of WrestleMania is, then there's a problem. There's generally a problem if I'm starting to question, is this truly the main event of WrestleMania? Is it? Because I don't want to do that. But honestly, I might have to. And I hate doing that. Because I want to make sure I'm truly happy with what the main event of WrestleMania is. And that goes for everybody. So I hope that's not the case, though. But again, we'll have to wait and see until Monday. For my opinion, at least. For you, I understand
yeah,
if it's not wraps, but you're definitely questioning more when you go in the next couple weeks ahead. I
yeah,
understand it
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and let me ask you, one last thing before we move on,
Yeah.
and I'm sure for everyone else though too. What are we gonna remember more? The promo of Punk talking about Roman's dead father, telling him that he's gonna
Oh,
bury
you
him
asked me
next to
this
his dead
question.
father?
Yes.
Yes, and I've asked you before, and now we're gonna do it live. So let me ask you: Are
Mm.
we gonna remember that, or we're gonna remember Roman calling CM Punk's wife a part timer?
And I'm literally going to answer this. If we were talking in a small sample size of just a quick jab, I'll slightly remember the age of jab. But if we're talking in general,
In general,
ah, obviously the dead father, because that was such a cold-hearted, bastardy line that should never be crossed. Especially when it
yeah,
comes to beefs. You never bring dead relatives into it. And Punk did. So obviously I'm going to remember that moment. And plus it was so out of pocket because I didn't think he was going to say that. I thought he was going to say something else. Man's literally said that. I was like, oh shit. So I'd say I would more remember that than the AJ line or the line about he's old.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And that's why, because at the end of the day, Roman should have had more impact on this promo on Monday better than what last 2 weeks ago would have been. But again, that didn't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for everyone, yeah, what would you guys think, about the situation? Leave it in the comments, or let us know on Instagram, or wherever.
Yeah, wherever. Let us know
Cause
what you think of this promo because I've had
yeah,
conversations with a good friend of mine from Australia. He's another Jaden. And he was very vocal on like how Roman's washed and he needed his cousins and everything. It was a very, very hot take situation. It was an intense situation, but I understood his frustration being like how is it that Punk is basically walking all over you and Roman has no response? Because he's kind of right. I hate to say it, and I love my tribal chief as the next person, but 100%, 1,000% agree. How is it that you have Punk walk all over you and you can't respond? Even if you respond in Boston, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Even if you respond in Boston and we get back on track, I don't know if it's going to be enough. You have to do something so dastardly, like so dangerous, that's worse than Punk basically talking about your dead father. I'm going to bury you next to him. Which is not easy. So we'll see what they have Monday, but damn, it is not going to be easy by any means necessary. So we'll see what they got on Monday, but that's a tough bar to set. We'll have to wait and see. Let's hope it's just a bad week and we get back on track and we could be like, all right, we got a nice little promo here. Let's see what's next. Because again, there's still time to build it, so we'll have to wait and see. Specifically. All right, so that's the conversation about Roman and Punk out the way. Let's start talking about some mid-card stuff so we take a breather from the main event stuff. Let's talk about some mid-card. Let's talk about another side from Raw that I'm very excited about. This is absolutely a dream match that I have been very much looking forward to for a long time. Because of when this man, started cooking in NXT and everything, I was like, I want this match just with the prospect of the size of the beast and the size of the ruler. And you obviously know where I'm going here. And it is Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar on WrestleMania. Man, if you would have told me a month ago at the Royal Rumble that we would get this match, I would have looked at you versus me like, I want that. But is it really going to happen? I'm not so sure. Especially after what happened with Braun Breaker and Seth. I'm not so sure. But after everything, we finally got to our answer of who's going to answer Brock Lesnar's challenge. Even though I think they feel like they scrapped that, which is probably a good idea. They went right to Obafemi. Right to Obafemi. And that fall from grace he hit on Brock was something special. I saw that fall for grace and I was like, holy shit, bro. That was fucking awesome. And shout out to the crowd who made Oba also helping him out become a star that night. That moment alone was a star-making moment that I've ever seen in a long time. Any type of star-making moment we've had so far, even close to that, from just the presence alone, is maybe Trick Williams. But other than Trick Williams and a few of the names I've had that star-style making performance, Oba easily had the best impression. And continuing to prove my case that he is absolutely a building block you should build around. Like, if there was a guy that I can 100% now agree and be confident, be like, he should be the future world champion and the future of your business, it is Obafemi. It is the ruler of WWE. And that moment with Brock and basically letting Brock, basically give Oba his moment. And I also saw a different picture after the moment when Oba, basically fall from grace Brock to hell, which that cell was crazy. Yeah. He basically was in tears. So it shows, yes, Brock has said some things. Brock's going to be very controversial. But Brock still inspires a lot of big dudes. And he inspired Oba because he was crying after he hit that fall from grace on Brock.
No, no,
Like it
I did
was
hear that. I
like
did hear that.
I saw a picture of him and you could tell. You know he doesn't show it because Oba's such a big threat, such a big dude. He was tearing up. He was like
Yeah.
tears of joy, of like I just did that. I just did that to one of my childhoods. Because he talked about it on many promos, many interviews. His childhood guy is Brock, and he's getting that opportunity. So overall, win or lose for Obafemi, that's a win for Obafemi and his stature. If he can get the Brock love, there's a future for this man. Because getting Brock Lesnar first try in your first WrestleMania match is impossible. But he got it. He got it. And now going to WrestleMania, you want to talk about the biggest match. I even sent Manny a picture on Friday of the tail of the tape. They did a tail of the tape of size. And just like, I want to read these stats. Let me see if I can find the picture. I want to read these stats real quick because this is unbelievable how big these two are. Like, let me see if I can find it. I sent Manny so many pictures. Where is it? Where is it real quick? Because I'm going to read out this tail of the tape. Oh, yeah, right here. Look at this tail of the tape. We got Oba side, 6'4", 310 pounds. Reach of 80, 51 chest, shoe size 15. Brock Lesnar, 6'3", 290. Reach of 81, 56 chest, and shoe size of 14. And then the accomplishments, obviously, 2-time NXT champion, 1-time North American champion, and he's also an SEC short put champion, which is like a sport for like football. And then for Brock, obviously, 10-time world champion, UFC world champion, and NCAA Division World Heavyweight Champion as well. This match alone is like Godzilla versus Kong, or Godzilla versus like Mothra, or something crazy. Some big monster mash fight is what I think of it like. In the words of the great Booker T, we have a monster fight. That's what we have here between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, and this shit excites me to the point that I want to see these two collide and break the damn ring. Like, I want these two to kill each other at WrestleMania. Like, this is the type of shit that gets me excited. When they announced that on Monday, I was the happiest dude alive. I was like, hell fucking yeah. Because most Brock Lesnar matches at WrestleMania, they intrigue you, because you're wondering who he's going to fight next. He fought Omos for 1 year. He obviously was going to do some other stuff. And now, finally, one of my more anticipated Brock Lesnar matches, Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. And I absolutely can't wait. They're going to be having a promo on Monday again. They're going to both be in Boston. Brock's going to be in Boston. Same with Oba. So we'll probably get a chance to see more Obafemi and Brock interaction, which, oh my god, yes, absolutely. Just sign me up to the absolute lights. And, yeah, so, but generally, this got me hyped for me. This right here, Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, got me hyped for WrestleMania. This shit right here got me hyped. This shit got me hyped. Like, on God.
Yeah, no, I mean, I cannot lie. Did I have doubts that they will do that? They were gonna choose this match at WrestleMania? Yes, because sometimes WWE doesn't get most of the time. Most of the time, WWE doesn't, give us what we want. Sometimes they do, which is a duality, thing that of course happens in life. But I am so glad they're giving this showcase to Obafemi because he deserves it. This is, a great opportunity for him, whether win or lose.
Win or lose. Win or lose.
Yeah, either way. So I'll be very happy if he does.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Either way.
100%.
But, yeah, no. All I can say is that I'm excited for the stream. I'm not going to lie. And I think that this should be on night one because...
Oh, I would love for
night one. I think night one needs some hitters.
We need some big boy matches.
And no better than that match right there.
Brock Lesnar, Oba. And Brock has started the show before, so I would love for maybe you want to start off the night hot. If you don't want to do like a big ladder match or anything, start off with Brock and Oba. Let them boys go for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. Destroy the ring, destroy some stuff, and then go from there. Because that'd be a great way to start. Brock has started Manias before. Hell, the first match Brock did, I think it was at the Hollywood Mania, was Brock Lesnar and Omos. That was the first match of the night. That started the night.
Yep.
Wasn't a bad way to start either, because it showed Brock Lesnar could lift Omos very easily. Which I didn't think he could. But it's
Nope.
Brock Lesnar at the end of the day. So I'm not
Yep.
surprised. But, yeah, so if you want to start off big, that's a perfect way to start off the night. Have those boys go for like 15, maybe 10 minutes, like I said, because I know this match is going to be short. Brock match is usually very short. I'm hoping, my hope is 15, but if I'm being honest, 10
That's at
minutes
least
is
fair.
probably
That's at least.
minimum. Like, I would hope 10 minutes. Like, 5 minutes is not enough. 10 minutes, though,
That could be something.
I could accept it. I could accept 10 minutes, because I want Oba
Yeah,
looking good, and I want
I'll
Brock
live
looking
with it.
good.
Yeah, I'll live for it. I will say that. I'll live for that at least.
But my dream is 15 minutes. But I know they don't do 15-minute Brock matches, so if I'm hoping,
if
10
they
minutes.
do, it's a miracle.
It's a miracle if they go 15 with these two.
And
But
hell,
10 minutes?
You never know. They
I'll
could
take
give
10
him
minutes.
same thing for him and Roman, like they did for him and Roman's last match.
Oh, yeah, they went like a solid,
20 minutes.
20 minutes with the tractor. Yeah, they went 20 minutes, which I thought was smart play. So if they give him the 15-minute mark, oh, shit's gonna be fucking peak. But if they go 10 minutes, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll take 10 minutes.
I don't mind that.
I'll take 10 minutes. But like I said, anything minimum than that is gonna feel short. Yeah, it needs to be enjoyable. Yeah, that's the important part.
Then I'm excited.
Showing the boys strength and monster and stuff like that. Like, yeah, definitely for sure. All right, that's another thing talked about. Let's see what other direction we can go. We can go Drew Jacob. We can go Randy. Let's see. All right, yeah. All right, we'll talk about. Let's do Drew Jacob, because there's still some negative with that, but I actually really like what I'm saying. All right, Drew and Jacob. Oh, this road has been an interesting one. Boy, look. All right, so here's where we are with this. Drew and Jacob. This feud has been building for a very long time. I want to say since last year, basically. Because Drew McIntyre, supposedly, even though Jacob hasn't outright said it, attacked Jacob Fatu before his number one contendership match the night before. He attacked it with a beam, and basically it took out Jacob to get teeth surgery for his teeth. He comes back in Germany and helps Drew win the world title after going after Cody and not being sure who attacked him. Then it leads to the series, Drew finally getting his title moment. He fought Sammy at Saudi Arabia in Royal Rumble. And then unfortunately after that, it still hurts me to this day, after Jacob got involved, Drew McIntyre lost the world title, and Cody Rhodes is now the world champion. It's not that, like I said, it's not that I hate. It's not that I don't. I hate Cody. I don't. I actually really love Cody. And as a Cody fan, I was happy he's getting his respect. But just the wrong time, wrong place for Drew McIntyre, unfortunately. But if you ignore that for now, let's focus on what we have here. We had a great last promo the following week after losing the world title of Crash Out Drew. Drew absolutely crashed out, and obviously justified. He crashed out on Nick Aldis, he crashed out on Jacob, and basically Drew was on a killing spree, ready to kill basically anything and everything. And then Jacob took out Drew the week prior, and then we come to this Friday, and I absolutely love this brawl this week. This got me hyped for this match. So, in the beginning of the night, after Jelly Roll was arriving in the truck, a bunch of craziness happened. Referees, Nick Aldis, all of them head towards the back because there was a car crash. Like, oh, who's the car crash involving? It's obviously Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Pulls him out of the windshield, beats him up for a bit, hits him on the car, and then Drew basically thinks he walks away and walks towards the ring. We start SmackDown on a wild start. He basically comes out and says, like, I should be main eventing WrestleMania, which I agree. And basically, he's basically giving his reasons on how he got screwed over and why he should be main eventing WrestleMania. Then Nick Aldis, who has had absolutely enough of Drew McIntyre's bullshit, was basically coming out and being like, oh, you want to be champion? Oh, you don't defend the title. Oh, you want to do this? Oh, da-da-da-da. And they just go back and forth. And then this is where Drew kind of crossed the line. Drew basically was talking about you should be so ashamed of yourself, all this. But I bet your son at home wouldn't like that too. I was like, oh, shit, Drew.
Oh
Shit.
no,
Talked
Drew.
about talked about the kid and talked about Mickey's son, Mickey James, Hall of Famer. Oh, Mickey ain't gonna like that. So
Oh
Aldous wanted to
no.
basically fume and destroy him, but luckily Jacob, who had a bloodied face as well, which I love this visual, had a bloody face and said, "I'm here, still here to kick Drew McIntyre's ass." And they brawl around the ring. They brawl around ringside. They're killing each other, chair shots, headbutts. Shit's going crazy. And then Jacob put the final touch. He basically crosses over past security and hits a massive Samoan splash through the announce table to start SmackDown. What a crazy way to start SmackDown. But shit gets even crazier. Because if you thought that was it, no, there's a lot more. Through the night, Drew McIntyre and Jacob were still basically brawling, but we couldn't see any of it. Then we get to, I want to say, one of the last few segments of the night. It's Solo and Tama, and obviously they're talking about obviously the Lantern and losing the tag titles, and Solo's about to crash out. And Tama basically was like, return the Lantern. It's two stories colliding into one. It's actually a quite genius move. And Tama basically told Solo, you're starting to sound like Roman, kind of like what Jimmy said to Jay.
Yeah.
And Solo's like, he was like, what'd you just say? And then you just see Jacob and Drew fall on screen, and they slam
Yeah.
each other into the garage
Yeah.
cage
Now,
and
in all
beating
honesty,
each other.
in all honesty, with this feud, I did not like how we got here, but I'm not gonna lie, we're starting out very strong.
Oh, we're not
Very
even
strong.
done yet. I'm not even done yet. Before you explain that, last part of the
Yeah.
show, after Randy destroys the hell of Matt Cardona. Oh, I'm so sorry, Matt Cardona. Destroys the shit out of Matt Cardona. We transition over to backstage, and Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu are feuding, are battling on top of a scaffolding of just a death of just death. Just like if they fall, death is what I'm trying to get at. And what happens? They do fall. Jacob basically hits Drew. Drew grabs Jacob by the hair, and both of them careen into the ravine of death. I don't even know what's behind there, but just death. And you can hear the crash as they crash over. And then they cut away. They basically cut the feed. But my point is we had two brawls in one night, and all three of those brawls in the past few weeks have been fucking epic. Okay, you can finish your statement now. I had to give context.
No, I mean you're right. When it comes to, that this rivalry again, I'm excited because this is a dream match. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited.
No,
And
I am too.
and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard to choose this match specifically for
Ooh,
WrestleMania.
predictions for that is gonna be difficult.
Yep. Unfortunately.
That prediction is gonna be tough. But no, I definitely think these fast few brawls are starting to sell me a bit on the idea of Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. I'm actually looking forward to this match at WrestleMania. I'm hoping they get a stipulation. They've been brawling all over the place. Dogging the stipulation. Oh, so this is where I was going to lead to my question.
Yep.
Manny, in your opinion, this feud that's so heated, so bloody, we need to end this feud. They've been brawling all over the place. Manny, in your opinion, what is the perfect matchup for these two? What do you think is the perfect matchup to end this program between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu? How do you end this? What kind of stipulation do you put on it? Because there's no way this is not just a singles match. You got to put something on the line here.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what? I think this might be the only choice. Last man standing. That's how you do it. That's how you do this match.
Okay. I respect that. Yours is nice. But I got one just as good. These two
Same.
absolutely despise each other. Blood, sweat, tears, they do not like each other. You know what you do when it comes to blood feuds and hatred? You put those motherfuckers in a solid steel cage. Not just any cage, though. You put them inside the most dangerous structure in WWE history. You put them inside of Hell in a Cell. And you let those boys absolutely demolish each other. in that cell, like how Punk and Drew did. You do the same thing here. You let those boys just destroy each other. You just let them just go at it until someone stays down. Well, both choices I think are absolutely valid. But if they go last man standing, I'm not mad at that choice at all because I think that makes a perfect amount of sense. Who will stand up? Who will make it to the count of 10? And who will not make it to the count of 10? That's a fair choice as well. But either choice, I will say, am I sold on Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu? I think so. I'm definitely sold on it. I was a little worried I wasn't going to be, but the way they've been building it, and the way they've been doing the promos and the tense battles backstage, I've been liking what I'm seeing. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing between Drew and Jacob. That match has potential to be a potential sleeper level WrestleMania match between those two. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that match for sure.
Oh yeah, no. Either way, I'm gonna be invested in this matchup. Either way.
I'm 100% invested as well. I guess the final thing we'll talk about is the last main event part, and then we'll do a little fun little fantasy thing at the end here to wrap it up. So
Yeah, let's do it.
Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Again, we don't have too much to talk about here, but we can keep it brief. So Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes are signing the contract after Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. They have an epic contract signing. I enjoyed the intensity. I enjoyed how Randy's like, I need this title, Cody. You have to understand, I need this title. I need to hear the voices in my head if I'm going to win this championship. And Cody understood. He's like, yeah, no, I understand. You got to hear the voices, but I still love you no matter what. And that's where I think Cody kind of called his guard. Because he's like, oh yeah, respect match. No. Randy's out for blood. Randy wants 15. If he's going to make his legacy known, he wants 15. So what are you going to do? You got to listen to those voices, and you're going to show how desperate you want 15. So Randy obviously beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes, basically bashed his head on the steps with the chair, and Cody's been out basically ever since. We get to Friday. Randy responds. Why did he do that? Why would you do that to Cody, your friend and everything? And he said it himself out of respect. He loves Cody. He respects Cody. He's not a person of disrespect. This friendship is still there. But when it comes the time to win championships, what was the one thing that gave Randy championships? It wasn't him being the nice guy. No. It was him listening to the voices. It was him listening to his demons and being like, this is what you got to do to win the championship. So, what happens? Randy still is like, I don't regret what I did. I had to do what I had to do. And Randy Orton is finally listening to those voices in his head. And like we said, even though I don't want to continue to trash on this feud, but I gotta be honest, just like you said before, this one nice little promo with him sitting in the chair in the middle of the ring just talking about himself and the voices was much better context than what happened on Monday. So I 100% agree. And then we get to backstage. Randy and Matt Cardona are backstage. Matt obviously saying like, yo, I disagree with what you did with Cody. He's like, Matt, don't do this. Don't do this. You don't want to do this. Don't do this. And he basically rips up his whole career. He basically looks him like a goddamn jobber and basically destroys him on the mic. Says he's basically, go play with your action figures. Go be in the indies. I was like, oh my god, this man Randy just destroyed Matt in the span of 5 minutes. I was like, what the fuck did this man just do to him? And then pushed him down and then basically hit him with a mean left hook and basically knocked Matt on his ass. So then Randy and Jelly Roll have a conversation. You're like, oh, Jelly Roll, a voice of reason. Which I have enjoyed Jelly Roll's appearances in WWE so far. He continues to basically say, there's still time to make up for this. There's still time to apologize. There's still time to rebuild this. And to be like, you know what? I gotta make things right. So Jelly Roll says, listen, I'm not judging you for what you did, and I forgive you for pushing me or whatever. But you gotta make the right choice. So Randy says on the phone call with that mystery man again, don't know who it is yet, says I gotta go in the ring and make it right. But whenever that phone call was said, Randy goes out there, he asks Mr. Cardona to come out and says, listen dude, I'm sorry about everything, I apologize. And they shake hands, they hug, And then, well, Cardona got a little too much because obviously when you're in the ring with a Viper, don't trust the Viper. DOA, don't trust anybody. And, well, we know what happens next. Bink, low blow, RKO. He does the steps thing again. He puts Cardona, bloodies him, and puts Cardona on the steps with a chair wrapped around the steps and sends another message to Cody Rhodes. Again, one of Randy or Matt, one of Cody's friends in Matt Cardona. Feel bad for Matt. But regardless, no, but like I said, this feud is starting to heat up already. Cody hasn't even returned yet. He should be back in about a week or two. And I can't wait to see what his first words are when he gets clear from the hospital. We get to see him and Randy, or maybe Randy's attacking maybe someone else, and Randy and Cody comes out, and we get that fiery Cody Rhodes that wants to basically kill Randy Orton, which is what I'm looking forward to. But I will say, if we're starting off on a good foot, I would say this is a great start for Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes' feud. I'm still very invested in this match, even if the way we got here, and I still disagree with the way we got here. But I will give WWE this. If you could sell me on this match, and so far I am loving what I'm seeing that old vindictive Randy Orton of old, then by all means, sign me up. Sign me up. And if this feud gets good enough, I will start to vouch. This match should be the main event of WrestleMania. If it continues like this, I would argue this should be the main event of WrestleMania. There's a conversation now. Before then, I would be like, oh, no. Roman Punk got it. But now,
Yeah.
especially if they don't deliver on Monday, man. I'm going to start being like, yo, Randy Cody should main event. I'll be honest with you. It's your main event.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest though with this though too, Randy Orton just made an impact in just a short amount of time with this new run. This feels like a fresh new run, and not only that, like he said, it's about legacy. It's about making history and breaking, the record of John Cena. Maybe. But the point is that he's trying to get back to what he once was, and that was the world championship. And he has been a world champion in many years. Since, I think, the pandemic era, right? I think that was the last time he was champion.
It was a short run, but yes.
Yeah, that was the last time he was the world champion. And I'm not going to lie, though, that was a difficult time because he never got a chance to win it with fans. Now, he gets a chance to win it with fans, and I think people will be excited for him, especially if he wins. Hell, people are excited for him in this heel run. More than Cody. But hey, this is a positive for Cody because this is at least he's getting better spotlight than I would say, and better luck or better talk than I would say Punk and Roman. And that's really shocking because I never would have thought this would have happened like that. Even though I didn't like the way that we got here, like we've been saying. But he's in a better position than I would say Roman and Punk.
Oh, for sure.
I gotta be honest, I can't really blame it too much on Punk because Punk is trying. Not only is he trying though, but he's the one that's carrying the feud right now.
Yeah.
Than Roman.
Yeah, 100%.
Roman needs to let it out. He needs to say the right words. Let the beast, let the darker self of yourself go.
Yeah.
Let it be unleashed on CM Punk. And I'm not gonna lie though. Again, I might not have the same reaction as I would have this past week, but I'm not going to lie. If Roman goes far enough for me to be like, ooh, okay, now we got something to talk about. Now you got my interest back of you guys' match being the main event for night 2. And if we get that talk again, if we get that feeling, then my mind might be changed. But I'm not going to lie. If it's not going to hit the same or if it's worse, I'm not going to lie. I might have to choose Cody and Randy for night 2.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the facts right there.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree with everything you just said. 100%. Like, if there's one match that I 1,000% agree with that has the chance to be the main event of WrestleMania, it's this feud. And even if it's not, I'm still looking forward to it to being night 1, even if it doesn't make it to night 2. Because the history is so there. It just makes sense. I just wish we got there a different path. But am I happy we're here? In the end, yeah, I am. I'm happy we're here. Because it's a match that we've asked for literal years. And we're finally getting the truest version of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. It's something that I've wanted for a long time. That's why when Randy won the Chamber, I was like, hell fucking yeah. Let's go. So I'm happy that we're here. Would I like something different? Yes. But if this is the feud we're getting and it's going to lead to potentially Randy winning number 15, then I've seen crazier. I've seen worse and I've seen crazier. And I'm cool with this. So I'm genuinely excited to see where this feud goes. I'm genuinely excited where this feud goes, when Cody gets back. Because like I said, once Cody gets back from that injury, obviously storyline injury, I don't mean real injury, storyline injury, when he gets back and we get that first confrontation, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton face to face. Oh, that shit's about to hit different, boy. Look. Shit's about to hit different. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I really can't complain with the start of this feud. This is a great way to start this feud, and I can't wait for Cody to get back. Because that's where shit gets interesting, is when Cody gets back. That's where shit gets exciting. So far so good. I do agree.
Yeah, no, and yeah, at the end of the day, with regards to Cody and Randy, I am more excited. And again, we're getting another dream match.
Mm-hmm.
The true version of Cody Rhodes versus the old but veteran, still a killer, legend killer, apex predator, 15-time world champion in Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 14-time, whatever it's the number.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting that dream match after so many years.
Mm-hmm.
The last time they fought was in 2012 or 2013. No, 2014. Sorry, 2013 and 2014. That was the last time these guys fought. And not only that, though. Here's the little hit. Well, two histories. Randy Orton is undefeated against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes has only beaten Randy one time out of the 3 times out of the 4 times technically they have fought in WWE. So the question is, can Cody finally get the victory at WrestleMania? Or
does Randy Orton finally win 15 after all these years?
And not only that, still undefeated against Cody Rhodes.
That's the big question. That's the big question indeed.
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, when it comes to that, I'm going to be interested to see how this is going to play out.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
But in general, I got to be honest. I might be doing it early, but I got to be honest with this. Then we're going to save the rest for another time, but I just got to be honest with this.
I don't know, Manny. I don't know. You just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
All right.
Keep it to yourself.
I guess we'll save it. We'll save it for sure. When the night one prediction.
I know what you're about to say, and I 100% agree with your sentiment. Let's save it for predictions.
All right.
Save it for predictions.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna save that for predictions.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure you guys might get the idea. So
you get the idea on where we're probably going, but
yes, we're gonna save predictions.
Save predictions. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, now down to the final part of this video, which I've been. By the way, Manny, you having a good time? I'm having a good time talking about WrestleMania. It's been good fun.
Oh yeah.
So now we're on to the final part. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little fantasy booking. Nothing like, legends versus legends, no. We're going to try to fantasy book or predict some of the matches that could be announced for this card, or the matches you want to see on WrestleMania. And I'll put it down on the list, and I'll post the list online. So here's how we're going to do it. You're going to pick 1 to 2 women's matches that you want on this card, a bunch of mid-card matches, or a match that is such a good rivalry you would like a singles match or a multi-man match. So, anything like that, you say what match you would want on Mania. Sounds good?
Yep, perfect.
Alright, so I'm going to go first because I have some of these already written down, but I'm going to add a few more. So, the matches I want to see, and I'm going to combine these into one, because I would like, not unification-wise, but the way I would like to see this. I would like to see an IC either ladder match or a multi-man match for Penta's IC title. I think that would be lovely. I think it'd be a great way to showcase the IC division. I think it would help Penta so much when it comes to him defending. He already defended an open challenge against Dragon Lee on Raw. kind of bringing that same style of mellow and the open challenge, which I really enjoyed. And I would love to see a ladder match or a multi-man match for WrestleMania for Penta.
Yes.
And I'm going to say the same for the U.S. title. I would like to see either a U.S. Open challenge from someone either outside of WWE or within WWE for Melo at WrestleMania, or I would also like to see a U.S. ladder match with multi-people in it, guys like Ilya Dragunov and other names that are underrated that don't get enough love on the roster specifically. So I would absolutely love to see both of those for the mid-card. For the women, this one might be kind of bold, and I don't think it'll happen, but I would love for it to happen. I would love to see the women's tag titles get a TLC match with multiple teams. I think the women's tag division has rebuilt itself very well. I've been very surprised how well the booking has been with this title. Because, I didn't think, in my honest opinion, no way, no how, that the women's tag division was going to be this loaded and this good. But the teams that they got, it's a loaded division. They got the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend, and Nia Jax. The Legend team of the Bella Twins, Lyra and Bayley, if they can make it on the card. Originally you would have had Io and Riho, but they're doing separate things. You also have, I'm trying to think of other teams. There's a lot of good teams. But those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But there's still a team I'm missing or two. But the teams are really well stacked, and I think giving the women more love would be nice. So I think a women's tag TLC could do them some wonders, kind of like what they did with the tag titles. I think that'd be pretty cool for them. Speaking of the WWE tag team titles, which, by the way, congratulations to R-Truth and Damian Priest. I'm very happy for those two. I would also like to see a WWE tag team title multi-man match or a ladder match with guys like Fraxium, Los Garzas. You could probably make a couple other teams in there. I think that'd be also really good for the WWE tag champions, the men's tag titles, because they need it bad. For sure. 100%. So any of those mid cards, I would like to see ladder matches or big multi matches for those titles. Then we're gonna do a little kind of solo style feud. I would either like to see Wyatts versus MFTs, but two things. A faction warfare with all of the MFTs and all of the Wyatts, or you do a solo one-on-one with Howdy versus Solo, but the lantern is on the line. No ifs and buts. Because we need to... Oh, and I don't want to be mean here. We have to finish this feud. The Wyatts have to get their lantern back so we can move on. And I hate to say that because I like both teams. But we need to get the program going. We need to move on here. We have tag teams now. We have to move on and move this tag division in a different direction. Best way to do it is to move these two out the way and just focus on the lantern. Once that happens, you can give maybe the Wyatts the WrestleMania moment and move on with their days. Wyatts do something else. MFTs continue to do their dissension with him and Tama. Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think I got my own, fantasy bookings. Yeah. I gotta be honest.
And I got one more little match here, and then I'll let you go. Yeah, my final match, even though I'm scared it's not gonna make it, but I wanted a triple threat match of family Japanese ties. Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Io Sky. I don't know what they're doing with Io Sky right now. After what they did with her on Monday, after basically Raquel destroying her, what was the point of having Io Sky out there when she has no relation to the Judgment Day right now? Rhea, yes, she's obviously focusing on Jade Cargill, and maybe that's where Io comes in to try to help her out, because if you didn't know, or if you haven't watched SmackDown, Jade Cargill got 2 new recruits for their squad. It's basically like, if you remember, and you remember this from AEW, like the Baddies. Baddies 2.0 is basically what it is. With B-Fab and Michin, basically. It's like the best way I could put it. But if they don't go that direction, EO needs a plan, which I still find crazy that EO does not have a plan for WrestleMania. She's one of the best performers in the world. What are we doing here, WWE? Get her some plans, please. And you already have this abusive relationship between EO and not EO, Kyrie and Asuka, where they feel like they're gonna finally break up. But now hearing that they might go for the women's tag titles, which I get it, but like, come on, the story's right there. But yeah, I would love for Japanese representation to get the best match, and that would be a triple threat match between Kyrie, Asuka, and EO. But unfortunately, the way WWE books stuff, I don't know if they'll do it. I want it to happen, I do, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen. I hope it does, but I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But I hope it happens. I pray it happens.
Yeah.
But those are a few dream matches I would like to see on this card.
All of them totally understandable. Some of them were definitely my picks, but I would say my first one. If I gotta say anything, you know what? This might be good, going crazy, but this could be a first time ever, a United States ladder match.
Yes, I put that one down.
I think that will make more sense. I think than I would say for the IC title, and you know what? I think you might find this IC title one interesting.
Okay.
Since someone is not in a certain place right now, and he's no longer, no longer, but might be on a break, but he could make a surprise. Okay. I might go crazy. This might be crazy, but you know what? I'm going to go bold. Vikingo versus Penta for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm so down. I'm so down.
That would be the ultimate, not only dream match, but on the proportions of Vikingo being on a grandest stage of all like that, the biggest stage of his entire career, for the IC title, that's something you gotta have that, in your pocket for sure.
Oh, that'd be special. That'd be special.
That would be the ultimate specialty for sure.
That would be awesome.
Or, you know what? I'm gonna put two other. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put two other matches included with this.
Okay.
Well, not with the IC title, but with the tag team division as well.
Okay.
What if, right? You put either that or make it interesting. Put Penta versus Rey Fenix at WrestleMania. The brothers know how to cook.
Oh yeah.
Let's just be honest with that. They know how to cook. And another match, I think that would be also interesting. The Lucha Brothers versus the Usos.
Oh, absolutely.
For the tag team titles.
They're already about to team up in AAA this year.
Yes.
So it'd be a perfect way to bring them into WWE to face a legendary team like the Usos. Even though, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to go with probably Austin Theory and Logan, which is still a fun match because it gives Austin Theory a nice showcase. Same with Logan. But it's not like the one that jumps out. He's like, oh, dude, Lucha Bros versus Usos, legendary brothers facing each other. The story makes sense. It's just for some reason WWE refuses to do the Lucha Bros thing, which I get it. Penta just won the IC title. I get it. You want him to go singles. I respect that. But at some point, we have to consider Rey and him are a tag team. We have to start considering that, especially the reaction they got in Mexico together when they did the Reina de Reinas. The way they got reacted, you have to pull the trigger now. The fan base wants it. Everybody's been wanting Lucha Bros team up.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
And not only that,
sooner or later.
It's
gotta happen.
Book
gotta happen.
Book them. And not only that, though, especially if they win the tag team titles in WWE, they've won every major title in the companies. Every big titles they have won. Ring of Honor, TNA, AEW, AAA, and now the possibility of them going to WWE.
Oh, excuse me real quick. You can keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a phone call.
Go ahead. And the possibility of them having 5 of the biggest title wins ever. Yeah, no, that's something to, be interested about, So, that's just it, in all honesty. And if they win that, history. And they already call themselves the best tag team in the universe for a reason. And they announced it though too in Mexico. So again, and I'm sure Brian will agree, that we'll be very interested to know when the reunion, when the official team of the Lucha Brothers will be either on Raw or SmackDown or basically wherever. Hell, in AAA as well. So at the end of the day, I'm interested in that. Also, another dream match that I believe Brian already discussed was the Kabuki Warriors, aka the Damage Control faction warfare between Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. Again, I feel like they've been teasing this for a little while.
All right.
Since
Sorry,
for
I
the
had a
past few
phone
months.
call.
Nah, you
Mom
good.
called me.
Good.
So you're talking about so you're talking about the match I want. Kyrie, Asuka,
Yes.
Io.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I'll put that down for you as well.
Yes. Yes, and the reason why I said it is because basically, like you were saying, they've been talking about this story for a little while, and I won't be surprised that Kyrie might turn her back against Asuka finally, either on hopefully on WrestleMania or after WrestleMania.
I hope so, man, because like the way they've been abusing Kyrie and making me believe, damn, when Kyrie finally like yells at Asuka in Japanese and basically just starts yelling at her and he's like, I've had enough, stop abusing me, this and that. Like it could be a big moment. It could be huge for them. But that's only if WWE puts more effort into it, because right now it looks like, I hate to say it, looks like it's unfortunately going to be a thing that you do on Raw, which like I said, I get it, it's big for Raw, but like, dude, this should be a WrestleMania level feud, especially if you put your top star and Io involved. You have to put that on WrestleMania. If you don't, then what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I hope it happens, man. I really do. I hope it does.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it should happen. I'm not going to lie. Another thing I would like to see is, I'm not going to lie with this, the women's tag team division should also have at least a multi-tag team match at WrestleMania. And not only that, though, and this is a big thing I think that me and Brian can talk about as well, the tag team division, the men's tag team division, who I feel has been suffering over the last, honestly, few years at this point.
Oh, yeah.
For many years at this point, the tag team division has just not been the same lately. They're not on pay-per-views as much, and I feel like that needs to change going into this year. And hopefully after WrestleMania, they can finally do that, because you got a stacked tag team division, or hell, at this point, and Brian, I'm sure, as much as this might hurt, in all honesty, Brian, but I think it's time we reunite the tag team division with just one tag team title at this point.
Yeah,
or at least share them.
I don't want to say that either, but with how limited those divisions are, because like I say, on the SmackDown side, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, because SmackDown has teams, even though they don't fucking use them. They have Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, Los Garzas, Wyatts if you want to count them, and MFTs. They have teams. It's just for some reason on the SmackDown side, they don't use them enough. The Raw side, oh man, that's a whole different story. They do not have tag teams except for like Alpha Academy, who they already fought. I guess whatever. Oh no, because Finn left JD, so that can't be one. No, actually, yeah. Other than Alpha Academy, I could think of off the top of my head, and maybe the Division with Logan and Theory. Other than those two, I can't think of any other teams. That's crazy. I can't think of any other teams off the top of my head, unless I'm missing one. But that's still such a small division. At least the SmackDown division has a revolving door of teams. They just refuse to use them, like Los Garzas and Fraxium and stuff like that. And like I said, I was cool with the idea of having a story centered around the tag division, because that could help storylines. But then there's a big negative. The rest of the division suffers for it. The people that are just fighting for tag titles. So like Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns and stuff like that. So for me, we'll have to wait and see. Because I will say it was nice to see Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns put on a banger on Friday. And maybe this is a step in the right direction when now Damian Priest and R-Truth taking the title, because I know they're going to be fighting champions. Even though they're a comedy duo, they're going to be fighting champions. So that's a good thing. And it could finally separate the thing with the whole MFTs and the Wyatts thing and focus on the Lantern, while they focus back on the tag division and slowly rebuild that division. So the SmackDown side has some potential. But yeah, that Raw side, whoo-wee. Yeah, I think I gotta agree with you with the combining of at least combine the Raw titles at least and just keep the SmackDown ones because oh my god, that Raw division is so cooked. unless we get a draft and we finally get in a draft where we can reset the rosters and fix that problem, which it seems like Triple H unfortunately hates the draft, which breaks my heart because the draft could help this situation. Breaks my heart hearing that, but again, it is what it is. If we're gonna
Yeah,
have
at
to
this
deal with this
point,
for the next couple decades, then we got to combine the tag titles again. If we're gonna go through this, but if you're gonna finally do a draft like how we've been asking, then we can have a different conversation. But until then, I do gotta agree with you. The only way this division gets better is if they combine the title, at least the tag titles, back together. Unless they do a draft and they fix both and they bring teams from NXT that are desperately need a call up to spice things up. But until then, yeah, no, bro. Yeah, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. We need to combine those titles back if all divisions
yeah,
are going to be
no,
healthy again.
yeah, 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 no. I feel like that. I think that's the necessary thing at this point. If you guys are not gonna showcase the tag teams equally, they should be combined at this point. Either that, or I mean, hey, they did that in the in the mid 2000s too. When the Miz and I believe the Miz and what's his name when
Big
people
Show?
won the both of those titles. Yeah, the Miz and Big Show, John Morrison and the Miz. Jericho and Big Show. Hey, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they held both those tag team titles together. Hell, like last year, do a Judgment Day, holding the Raw and SmackDown. At this point, you might as well just keep them together. At this point, because WWE is just. I gotta say the truth. WWE is not doing their tag team division justice.
Yeah, they're
And
not.
sooner or later, if they're not going to do their tag team division justice, fans are going to complain. Fans are not going to care for the tag team division. Hell, some tag teams might be leaving
Yeah,
WWE.
yeah, that's the hard truth. There's a chance where they look at other places like a TNA with Righteous and Hardy Boys, or hell, even All Elite with Young Bucks, FTR,
Yeah,
Cage, and Co.
AEW.
Like
AEW.
AEW is
That's
slowly
enough.
rebuilding that tag division from the ground up. Finally,
Yeah,
after
yeah,
some great runs from Brodito and FTR, now we're starting to
yeah,
slowly get back to where we need to be, where teams are stepping
yeah,
up every day. Rascals are
yeah,
always in contention. There are young teams like the Swirl, and there's a bunch of teams that I really like that are involved in that tag division. And now you got
yeah.
the legends like Hope and Cage coming back to try
Yeah.
to have their final run, their
Yeah.
final
And,
farewell
and
run.
then and in all honesty, with AEW, when it comes to their tag division, sure, they've had their own struggles, they've had their own little mistakes that they've done for the tag team division. But even at the end of the day, and you can agree with this, Brian, at the end of
Oh
the
yeah.
day, they always did their tag teams, especially their division, their champions, justice most of
even
the time.
even even if a match didn't make sense, but they still put them on pay per view. That's the difference. They put them on pay per view, even if the
Yeah,
match made no sense. Like, all right, we need to have the tag titles on the pay per view. Let's see what we could do. And even though the match might not make sense, the match could still hit with the people involved. Like there were some tag matches that made no sense at all, but then they put them on the pay per view, and then oh look at that, big spotlight for the tag division. Like I remember going to Full Gear and we had Brodito versus FTR where they lost the titles, and Brodito and FTR put on a fucking heater for 20 minutes. And I was like, that's the type of tag wrestling I want to see on a weekly basis. That's what I want to see. And I was like, damn, WWE can't go back to what they were doing months ago. It's the same formula. You have the teams to do it. You just refuse to do it, or you just lost the plot. Like maybe the way to do is to reset, and I'm hoping Priest and Truth is the reset, where they're like, all right, we're gonna have a fun team hold the titles, and then more tag teams will step up and be like, we want to fight Truth. Because, like I said, it should be where either a fun team comes in and holds the titles, and then all the other teams try to fight to get a position. So, like Frax, Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garzas. I hear Street Profits are finally getting creative, so they'll probably come back into the fold, which is good to see them back. So, like, they're building teams. They have teams. It's just for some reason they refuse to showcase them on a 3-hour show. You have 3 hours to showcase them. Like, seriously, you have the extra length. You just don't. You refuse to minimize it. You refuse to use it. So, like, I'm not saying like every match has to be a tag match every day, but like I said, like how we got Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxium, which was a great match. That should be every Friday, battling back and forth with different teams. Hell, do tag team triple threat matches. Los Garzas, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium. The winner gets a shot at Truth and Priest. Or singles matches, or do tournaments even. You have the roster to do tag tournaments. You just refuse to use them, or refuse to do it. So the SmackDown side is not even a tag team problem. It's just a use problem, where they don't use them properly. Which is crazy, because you have the division to use them, like Fraxium. How is it that Fraxium has been in the company, or at least the main roster, for a year, and they still haven't gotten tag success? That's mind-blowing to me. Have you seen what these guys have done in NXT? Have you seen what they've done on TNA? Like,
and I'm
dog.
not gonna lie though. I gotta be honest, Brian. I really believe that they were gonna win the tag team titles not too long ago.
I was like, hey, when the Street Profits finish their run, or when the Motor City Machine Guns, if they win those titles back right after that, give them boys to Fraxium. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. You had them right there. You didn't do it. You did a stupid storyline with Axiom's mask. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. What are we doing?
But I'm hoping, after what they showed this week, with Motor City Machine Guns picking the win thanks to Candice and Johnny joining them, we can start to get something. Because they at least fought last week. They were on the show. They've had matches. But, again, it's such a small step for a division that needs help. And like I said, it's not a talent thing. It's not. For the SmackDown side, it's not a talent thing at all. It's the way they've been using the talent. For the Raw side, yeah, they just don't have enough talent. They just don't have enough talent. There's not enough people, not enough teams, not enough to fill that division. And then obviously not as much care about it. At least the SmackDown side, they're trying to show they care. Kind of. But it's taken a fun team, even though I love R-Truth and I love Damian Priest equally, which this should have been a team months ago, that I'm happy that they finally won it, and maybe this is the reset it needs. But again, that's just me wishful thinking. And they might win the tag titles, and they might have the most boring reign, not defend them, and just be a comedy act. That's not what I want for the tag division. But again, Truth has been here before. He hasn't won these specific titles, but he's won the Raw ones. And him and Miz defended it every week. So I'm hoping that's what we get back to, where they defend it consistently. But we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. With that one. Any other dream matches you have to put on the list?
No. Wait.
You got one?
I would have said Seth versus Bronson Reed again, maybe.
I mean, there's a rumor that Breaker could make it though, if you think about it.
No. I'm saying if you know.
But right now, it seems
I hope it's Braun.
Right now.
No, don't get me wrong. I hope it's Braun. I really
I
want
hope
it
it
to
is
be
Braun.
Braun.
I hope it is Braun.
God, that man's a beast.
God, I need him on me. And it'll wrap this wacky, crazy mass man story in a bow. Have Seth and Braun go one-on-one finally. But that's if he can come back. We'll have to wait and see, because WWE seem optimistic. Since they went the Brock and Oba out route, they seem optimistic. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, any other matches you want to... Or that's it. That's all you got. Nothing else.
Hopefully, sooner or later, Naomi versus Stephanie Vancouver.
I would love to see that. Come back, get back, Naomi. That's it for Mania, though. That's it. Nothing else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So I'll quickly go over both our dream matches for WrestleMania this year. I have the IC ladder match or multi-man for Penta. Melo, U.S. title open challenger ladder match for Melo. Women's tag titles for the Irresistible Forces in a TLC match. Tag championship ladder match as well for the tag titles. Wyatt's and MFT's either faction war or solo match for the Lantern. And then Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Io in a battle of Japan family abuse and basically trying to get respect. For Manny's side, U.S. ladder open challenge or U.S. open challenge or ladder. Penta versus Vikingo for the IC title. That's fucking crazy. Penta versus Ray, brother versus brother for the IC title. Lucha Bros versus Usos, please. Kyrie, Asuka, Io, and the women's tag multi-man ladder and also tag team ladder match for WrestleMania.
Oh wait,
No.
and one last thing. You know what? This is a real real fantasy. But you know what? I think you're gonna like this one. Tell Brian maybe then you'll be shocked. But you know
Okay,
what? I don't think you're gonna be mad.
Okay, go ahead.
Jon Moxley versus Roman Reigns.
See, that's funny. If
If it ever comes true.
I've seen crazier where Mox has done, because Moxley's basically cheated everything in AEW. So if he really wanted to, he probably could. It depends,
Yes,
but I wouldn't be opposed by it. I'd be like, oh hell yeah, especially if they give Moxley this character. No, not Dean Ambrose. This character, like dangerous Jon Moxley, where he can fucking kill a man. That Moxley against Roman, oh, the promos would be fucking peak. Oh, the promos would be so good. Promos would be so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I think it's.
So that is what we have for our WrestleMania dream matches for stuff that we hope gets on the card this year. One other thing I want to add, I know next week Julia is going to face Tiffany Stratton. One thing I want to add as well, I could see that actually turning a triple threat because Chelsea Green or Alba Fire is healed. And we get either Alba Fire, Julia, and Tiffany for the U.S. title, for the women's U.S. title, or we get Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, and Julia for the women's U.S. title because Alba Fire is going to get involved and cost a DQ for this match. I know more interference. Yeah. I know we should have a clean finish, but to protect both women and to lead into a match, it's probably the best way to do it. So. But yeah, that's it for our WrestleMania talk. This was fun. I had fun doing this.
Oh yes, I agree.
I'm definitely looking forward to the road to WrestleMania. There are definitely still some worries I have for certain things. I also want to give a shout out to a feud that I'm very much excited for, and I can't wait to hear his first words. Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Muy bueno. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
And real quick, time. Just a quick little bit talk about this match before we, head off and everything. This match has been years in the making, I think I would say as well. The boiling tensions eventually, and basically, in my opinion, the end of the Judgment Day. Now, of course, it's still Judgment Day, but to be honest, I feel that this might be the end of Judgment Day. All three of the former members of Judgment Day are no more. Finn, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. And I gotta be honest, and the truth is the truth, Brian. Mm-hmm. The Judgment Day has been one of the most successful factions in a very long time. I have not seen a faction so committed since probably the Bloodline. But other than the Bloodline, I have not seen a faction so committed, so fan loved. Like this in just a long time. Now, sure, we knew eventually there was going to be a Bloodline, sooner or later. But we never seen, and I wish, you know what? I'm going to put this as another fantasy.
Oh, shit.
Judgment Day versus the Bloodline.
I would have wished we would have got that.
What a time we could have had that fight.
That Survivor Series battle could have been fucking huge. Oh, I would have loved to see that. Elimination 5v5.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to lie, though. Was that time great for Survivor Series? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
I believe mostly that I would have loved, and I think fans' anticipation was I would have loved to have seen the Judgment Day fight Bloodline.
Oh my
officially.
God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Yes, 100%.
Between Roman and the Usos versus Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, that could have been something.
And then if the Bloodline could have added a female in between, maybe they added Naomi or something like that, or bring back a Tamina to battle Rhea.
Yeah.
Oh, that could have been great.
Yeah. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing more reviews for WWE and hopefully for AEW the next time when hopefully we're on our next stream for our WrestleMania predictions.
Yeah,
hopefully,
we're gonna skip Dynasty for this one because we want to focus on Mania. But after Mania, if
yes.
it goes well, you will probably get a prediction from us for Double or Nothing, which is AEW's one of AEW's biggest shows of the year. So you will definitely get that as well. Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
thank you all. This was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
Felt good to come back, and hopefully to more. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you all, and good night. Adios, y'all.
Thank you guys again. Good night. See y'all next time.
See y'all.